Hello, I'm Eric Schutz, OEA Uniserv Consultant with SKEA. This is a brief training developed for members on how to read their payroll advice slips and calculate their hourly earnings. If you have any further questions after this training, please direct those to your building rep or the association office. This is from a member's actual payroll advice slip in September. This particular member has a bilingual differential. You can see bilingual here, and the amount for that bilingual differential in this paycheck all the way on the right, $159.24. This individual also worked for 7 hours at an hourly earning rate of $34.72. That was for some form of before school work in the summer, and it was paid out at curriculum rate, not the actual hourly rate. Additionally, this person took a personal leave day, represented here by the 8 hours, and the actual earnings for the personal leave day of $305.14. The regular pay is earned in two forms, regular pay 110 and escrow 110. And those two sums are over here, $4,500 and $2,700. Those two combined for the 192 hours of work. To calculate your hourly rate, you simply need to add up the total number of hours, 8 and 192 in the pay period, and divide those hours into the total sum of regular hourly pay, which is indicated by these three boxes added together.
Go.
I want to make sure that we talk about this category, escrow 110, and the $2,746 associated with it. This account is there so that you end up with 12 equal monthly payments, or close to it, over the course of the year. So different amounts will go into this category every month, and some months you'll notice there's actually a minus. That's because it's paying you out of this category to allow you to have equal payments in months like December, and especially in your 2 June paychecks at the end of the year. That will be a minus because you're receiving money that you've already earned and has been sitting in this account. So once you have your hourly rate calculated, you multiply that hourly rate by 8 hours and 192 days, and you'll arrive at $58,586 for this person's hourly rate. On the salary schedule, there are 7 columns. This rate appears in all 7 columns. However, you should know what your appropriate level of education is to figure out what column you should be in and find your salary at hopefully the appropriate step. If it's not at the appropriate step, this is a good time to contact the association office and/or payroll. Moving to the middle of the payroll advice slip, you'll notice Social Security and Medicare at the top of deductions. Then there will be some open enrollment choices that you selected for your insurance, followed by federal and state taxes, and your PERS member and district payments. Next we have your association dues. This is for your local, your state, and national dues, followed by a section on your insurance contributions from the district. Then if you have direct deposit, that'll be right below that. And then finally down at the bottom here, there are some additional insurances on this individual's pay stub. That's because it's still reflected in the year to date, but it's not currently active. So this is from the previous year's insurance selections. The final part of the pay stub on the right has your sick leave balance in it. This is a really important thing to keep track of and watch. For some of you, you've transferred from another employer and you might be eligible to have some sick leave balance transferred. Please pay attention to the end of October. That's when that amount should transfer in. It's also important for you to track this month to month. You might find that your sick leave balance goes down and you don't know why. If that ever happens, please contact the association office and/or payroll for guidance. So I wanted to go over one more example with you. This is a different person's pay stub. So we've gone through the calculation to calculate their hours worked for the pay period. You add up all of the hours worked in the pay stub, the family illness leave, the sick leave, and the regular pay to get 176 hours. Then you add up the total pay for these hours, which is all four of these numbers. Remember, you need to add in that escrow pay because you earned it in this pay period. That gives you the total balance of $6,581.12 earned. Divide your amount earned by your hourly rate, or by your hours worked, and you get your hourly rate. And finally, multiply your hourly rate by 8 hours each day by 192 days in the salary year, and you end up with a salary of $57,000. You could then use that same salary schedule to locate where you should be on the pay schedule. Also, this person used 4¼ hours of sick leave. On the right hand side of the advice slip, you will find under the used column 4.25 hours, and the balance will have gone down from the previous pay stub. This is where it's important for you to use one pay stub and compare it to the next month's to make sure that the balance is what you would expect it to be. Thank you for watching this brief training. I hope you received some good information. Please remember, if you have further questions, refer them to your building rep or contact the association office.